Yo, what is going on, guys? So we are back today for another video. This is a content creator program video, potentially how the future ones are going to be shaped, in that now we're going to be getting these characters as 5 stars and 6 stars, and we'll have the ability to take them up to any level. So basically how it works is there is a special content creator beta to let us do this, so that, this way there's two big upsides to this. The first one is that we can test higher level characters, because we can't really do that on our main accounts because it can affect prestige and everything like that. And even if it wouldn't for some people, it would for other people, and it's kind of hard to deal with. So that's one of the big downsides of doing it on the main server. And another upside to the beta is that, when we want to make content, when I would want to make a 6.2 champion boss fight, I would have to use a full energy refill to get to him, the time and energy it would take to get to him, and if I screwed up, any potions or revives, that was never really too big of an issue, but it was always there, and for certain fights, I had to go deeper and deeper into areas, and that is annoying. So with the beta here, there's a store to buy potions, revives, boosts, so I can get to any content much easier now and without any stress, to make videos and certain fights for this, and I can take them up to a high level. So that's really cool. So yeah, just a little bit of an intro. Now let's talk about Guardian. We're going to talk about a couple things. Oh, damn it. This stupid... I need a new phone. I keep having this issue. So we're going to talk about a couple things about his abilities, and then I got a lot of gameplay. I recorded a ton of gameplay on this beta for you guys. So his main piece of utility here is in his signature ability, and you want to get him as high as possible, because if you can get a 5-star level to Sig 200, you're going to get so many benefits here. So as long as he has an armor up effect active, he's going to get 2600 block proficiency. Let's see how much that is. That is like close to his, it's like 1,000 less than his base block proficiency, and that's 65%. So, the numbers don't add the way like they should, because, if they added the way they should, it should be like close to 100%. But yeah, it doesn't add to 100%, but it's really strong block proficiency, which is the way that the numbers work, and it's, I forget what it's called, but yeah, they changed the system from percentages to number values, and it's weird the way it adds together. But the energy resistance is over 8,000, 8,500. Man, that is insane. Like Bishop, I think, has like 4,000 energy resistance, and he like counters magic limbo. So this amount of energy resistance is so good. Almost 80% bleed resistance, and you can get this even higher with the coagulate mastery, and then critical damage resistance. So if you get attacked. Now, this just makes him such a tank offensively, which is just so awesome. A couple of cool things about him here is he can't land critical hits, but instead the damage that he would do is dealt through a burst of shock damage. So that is great, because, a lot of times it's a really good utility to have a champion that doesn't crit. There's really not that many in the game right now. Right now we have like Crossbones, Guillotine, 2099. So that's going to be great for flow. Another piece of utility here, Guardian can trigger the parry mastery against non-contact attacks. That's amazing. So you can parry Iron Man Infinity War, Havoc, no issue. You don't need to rely on the reparry. Here we have, while Guardian's ability accuracy is below 100% for 3+ seconds, he inflicts a shock debuff, dealing 444 energy damage per second until restored. This scales with base attack. This is pretty cool against some matchups, which I'll show you guys some gameplay of. His armor up, he starts the fight with his armor up, and it's for 2100 armor rating. That's pretty good. And if his buff is removed for any reason, it will return after 14 seconds. That's great. That it just comes back, good for fighting Havocs. While Guardian has an armor up buff, while time blocks against special attacks are perfect blocked. This is sick, man. This is such a cool mechanic. And each perfect block grants 10% of a bar of power. So you can actually gain power this way, which again I'll show gameplay of, which is really cool. Now his force field charges, this is how you see him do the insane damage. So he can gain up to 3 normally, and they are permanent, and then he continues gaining them, but they are not permanent. And he also has a chance to auto block, which is pretty interesting, but that's I haven't really even had use for it yet, but it could be useful. And then consume 1 force field charge to block unblockable special attacks against mutants. That's pretty cool. That is a pretty cool thing. It basically makes him like the perfect Havoc counter, man. He's a pretty good Havoc counter. Not perfect, but you can counter like pretty much all of Havoc's stuff, which is cool. On the 4th light attack, again, just another really nice piece of utility thrown in there. he can power drain the opponent for 20% of their current power. So you want to use this like when you push them to an L3, but it consumes 2 force field charges. The heavy attack consumes a force field charge and gives you an armor up back, so if you need to get one really fast. Special 3 is a way to get some force field charges, also inflicts a taunt. Special 2 is how you just nuke the opponent down. It gets 3700 attack rating based on how many force field charges you have, and you can get an infinite amount of these, so he has a lot of damage potential in this special 2. And if Guardian has 3+ force field charges, you consume an armor up buff and inflict a shock debuff, dealing 7400 energy damage over 3 seconds. This attack cannot be evaded by mutant champions. Kind of cool. And on the special attack 3, gain 6 indefinite force field charges, inflict a shock debuff, dealing 4000 energy damage over 20 seconds. But now, so the special 3, this is how you get the permanent one. So, when I first read his abilities, I just thought that, you could get, I didn't think you could continue stacking this, but you can. You can stack these 6 indefinite force field charges from the special 3 infinitely, man. It's insane. So he has an absolute crazy damage potential. So I talked more than I wanted to, but that's really all his abilities, and I will show gameplay showing all that. And as far as the synergies go, nothing really too crazy, but this one, it's just, he'll give this to a team plus 1250 block proficiency. That is insane just to have on the team to boost other champions. This is going to buff champs like Obsidian, Nebula, Hitmonkey, Spider-Man. Like, that is just an awesome team synergy to have. So without further ado, let's get to some gameplay. Alright, and now finally we get to the gameplay. So I got a lot of fights for you guys, showcasing all different aspects of his abilities. So the first fight up here we have is an Iceman. So Iceman, this is the 6.4.1 boss, I think it is. And there's heal block, so I took off suicides for this fight. Guardian is very suicide friendly, but with the heal block, it was just a lot of damage. So you can see that Cold Snap is dealing 481 damage every tick. And so we finished with about 70%. So it took off about 30% of our health, which, isn't that bad. This is like a really, really beefy Iceman. It's a big Act 6 boss. So of course the damage is going to be pretty nuts. But to not be immune to something like that and to survive it with a decent amount of health, that's pretty impressive, And again, this is an insanely stacked Iceman, so he took that Cold Snap like a champ. So with this fight here, it's got Matador, so we're just going to push him to special 1s, and then every time he throws a special 1, we're going to get a part of power. So we're going to throw a couple L3s, and then go for an L2, and just nuke him down. So that's really the strat with Guardian, You can use a special 1 to get a couple charges, depending on the fight. Maybe if you want to go for some power control, you want a couple charges real quick if you need to power drain the opponent, which I'm going to show a Hyperion fight, kind of where I play like that. That could be an option, but for most fights, you want to just go to an L3, depending on how much health the opponent has. Maybe go for 2 L3s and then go for the L2. Maybe 3 L3s and then L2 if it's a bit of a longer fight. You can really go for as many L3s as you need, and then your damage output is just going to be that insane. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. So here, just trying to get him to bait the special 2. Right there you see I just parry his special 1, and boom, we get perfect block on it, which is pretty cool. I mean, parrying a special and evading it is really not that different. I find it's pretty much the exact same timing. But, it is, sometimes you just don't feel like evading a special attack, and so if you can get that parry, maybe if there's multiple parts to it, you just parry it, and you don't have to worry, sometimes that can be the way to go. It's just really nice. Or, if there's a special attack that you're not confident in fully evading, but you can just parry the first part of it, and then get some perfect block going, that's where it's perfect for, which there's a fight where I show that later on. But now we get to this Hyperion fight I was talking about. So you see I actually take an L1 to the face on purpose and just watch my health. Watch my health. We're not getting blitzed down from like 1 incinerate, we were healing off of it. From 4, you see we're still doing fine health wise. We're still above 90%. We had 4 incinerates on us. That's the energy resistance from a signature ability that allows us to take so much reduced damage from incinerate, cold snap, shock, anything that's classed as energy damage. We just take so much reduced, and it is great, man. It is really great. So yeah, I think I threw my L1 there to put a little taunt on him, just to get him to throw a special. Right there, I power drain him. You see he was at 2 bars, it took him below that. But that power drain is best utilized when he's at a special 3. Then it just takes off 20% of max power, because it's current powered, but at 3 bars that's max. So current becomes max, so it takes off 20% full power, which is a pretty good amount. And I feel like that's really going to save you in certain situations, so that is great. So right there, go for a little special 3 just to build up some charges, you know, if I need to go for another power drain, and then eventually go for my special 2 to just finish this guy off. So yeah, as you can see, we're not critting at all, we're just dealing energy damage, so that's nice. So right here, I take a couple blocked hits because I don't want him to throw a special attack. I want to show you guys what that big power drain looks like. And I know you can't really see it because my face cam's in the way, but it's a pretty good chunk that gets taken off. 20% of max power gets taken off when he's at an L3. So that's nice. Now, next up here, I jumped into variant 3? Yeah, variant 3, the tech one. I was going to fight a Magneto here, but then I realized what I was trying to get to work wouldn't work. I'll talk about that when we get to Magneto. But I saw an Electro on this path, so I was like, ooh, yes. So he's actually essentially not immune, but greatly resistant to Electro's damage. So that is just great. I think I have max recoil on here, so I took 10% of my my health. But as you can see, the damage from Electro's abilities are very, very minuscule. So he's an Electro counter, so that's really cool. But he's going to need to be at least a maxed out 5-star signature ability-wise to be able to counter Electro like this. The 3-star can do it okay. A 4-star could probably do it decently, but to do it like how I just did it, you're going to want at least a 5-star C200. Now, the next thing I wanted to test, really put his energy resistance to the test, was against a magic. And I was thinking, you know, where's a magic? And there's this one in 6.2. This one's on the way to the champion boss, so I fight her all the time. I always have to bring a specific counter just for this magic, because she has the Energize node, which is basically just increased power gain. So she triggers Limbo just an absolute ton. So if you bring in someone who can't get around that Limbo, you get nuked down. Even like my Human Torch, playing just normally, he can't survive this fight. The Limbo will just nuke him down. And by playing normally, I mean like just, you know, not using the Pacify Mastery, not playing careful, just pushing her over a threshold and just, you know, purposefully trying to trigger that Limbo. I mean, it's like playing her as like you would a normal arena fight. That's what I mean by that. And that's what I'm doing here with Guardian. I'm not playing special. I'm not using Pacify. I'm not trying to disable Limbo. I'm trying to trigger Limbo actually and hit her while she has Limbo up, because I'm really just trying to see how much damage I'm going to take. So as you can see, we've already pushed her over multiple thresholds of power, and we're still at 87%. Pretty good. And again, I could definitely play this fight differently to try to not trigger Limbo as much, but I'm not trying to do that here. I'm actually trying to take as much Limbo damage as possible, just to really see how much it is, and it honestly tickles. It just tickles Guardian, you know? Doesn't really hurt. Yeah, it's fantastic energy resistance, man. Absolutely fantastic energy resistance. We got the special 3 off, so now we're going to go for a big special 2 and just finish this last off. So I just want to get up to my special 2, and I just wanted to make sure she didn't have any power, so she doesn't just Limbo heal it all back. Right here, perfect. You can drop the special 2, and she is just dead. That was way overkill. And yeah, you can see pretty much not immune again, but extremely resistant to Magic's Limbo. Now next up here, I finally found a Magneto. This is in the Mordo quest in 6.2, 6.2.5. So this has the Do Not Go Gentle global node, which I wasn't really too worried about, but something just really cool about Guardian here, as you can see, that thing I mentioned, if you bothered to watch the part of the video where I read his abilities, where if you didn't, I guess I'll just explain it. I know a lot of people just skip the talk and go to the gameplay, which is fine. Basically, when Guardian's ability accuracy is lowered for a certain amount of time by a certain amount, I think it's by like more than 15%, he applies a shock to the opponent. So in a matchup like this, where my ability accuracy is just permanently being lowered, he permanently applies a shock debuff to Magneto. So you can see it's ticking for 445 damage, just permanently throughout the entire fight. That'll never go away unless he has like some way to shrug it off, but it will reapply, which you'll see in the next fight against the Domino. So yeah, it's just a pretty cool ability. Yeah, just some permanent shock on the opponent, you know, why not? But yeah, I'm just trying to get an intercept because this do not go gentle right there. He thought he had me, but I auto-blocked it out. I actually auto-blocked it there. I didn't even notice. I thought I parried that myself. I thought my reflexes were that good. I guess not. Well, there is an actual use for the auto-block mechanic. Nice. So next up here we got a Domino. So this Domino has Masochism and Cornered. Really not ideal for what I was trying to show here, but I couldn't really find another Domino that was early on in the quest. So you're going to see the shock gets applied to her, but Masochism heals it. So it's kind of interesting to actually see what happens. So it will reapply and stay on her permanently until Masochism tries to shrug it off again. But it's staying on there. It continues to reapply because my ability accuracy is continuously being lowered throughout the fight. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's actually, yeah, that's really cool. And yeah, I mean, I guess I do have that auto block mechanic. If I do, maybe she throws a special 2 against the wall or something crazy, who knows. Right here I just block and evade it. We got a perfect block there, that was nice. And yeah, we just nuke her down with special 2. Right there you see her evade failed when she was lucky. That's because mutants cannot evade Guardian on his special 2. So yeah, that's just really dope. He's gonna be a pretty good Domino counter. Definitely not the best, but pretty good. He's tech, he's immune to unlucky. So yeah, pretty good Domino counter. Now the next thing I wanted to show you was, remember how I said, again, maybe if you can watch it, but he gains power for perfect blocking special attacks. So this is amazing against War Machine. You watch, and this is another example where, you know, maybe like I said, you can dex and parrying is pretty much the same timing on special for the first part, but for the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth maybe part, you know, if you can't get that dex down, you can get this perfect block. And against War Machine's L1, which is nearly impossible to evade, I say nearly, it's amazing. You can pretty much perfect block like every single, I think like the last bullet maybe doesn't get perfect block, but again, his block efficiency is so good that it doesn't really matter. But you also gain a nice burst of power from getting these perfect blocks off. And yeah, it's just really, really good for War Machine and other champions who have similar special attacks like that. It's just really cool. You can see we get like almost a bar of power from that, which is pretty crazy. And yeah, just another cool piece of weird niche utility that he has, and really like it. And not to mention how good his block is, but just the look of his block is also like the coolest blocking animation in the game. It's a maple leaf. I mean, that is, what's cooler than that? Nothing. And then just nuke him down again with the special 2. It's just 1L3, 1 special 2. That was in like 6.1.3, I think. It was against like the Ghost Boss quest. And now we got one more fight for you guys. So it is the Kang boss in variant 3 with selective time stream. So selective time stream, basically you need to have an incinerate or a shock debuff on the opponent, or they're going to heal to full. Nothing else can counter that. Debuff wise, heal block won't work. Petrifies won't work because they'll just get shrugged off. There are a couple other ways around this, such as passive heal blocks like Warlock or Mysterio. But you know, I wasn't trying to do anything like that. I was just trying to out damage it. That's the cool way to beat Kang here, is just to out damage. Basically deal all of his health in one blow. So that's what we're going to be going for here. So we're going to build him up, and like this is the cool thing, that you can just infinitely ramp up Guardian. It's really cool. So we're just going to keep going for these L3s, keep on ramping him up, and then we'll get so strong that 1 special 2 just nukes him. And yeah, it's so cool. So let's see. So beta special 1, I think we're at 1 special 3. So let's count how many special 3s it takes, which again, you can get infinitely. And you see I do apply a shock from the special 3. I could probably get some shocks off and try to beat him that way, but I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to do a bunch of damage at once. Right there I got hit. I was trying to go for a light intercept and wasn't really paying attention, so he smacked me. Light intercepting is very safe if you're paying attention, because either they go for it or they don't. If they do go for it, you're fine. If they don't go for it, you do have enough time to recover if you're paying attention and you're ready to try to recover. But I wasn't paying. I thought he'd just go for it. But yeah, we took a little bit of a hit, but we're fine. So that's two special threes that we're at now. And so yeah, I think I went for like 4, maybe 5. I'm not sure. I lost count in the fight. I wasn't even really paying attention. I was just having some fun with Guardian. He's so fun to play. I think he might be my favorite character in the game now. He's definitely the coolest looking, and he just has all around great abilities. I'm just such a fan, dude. I'm such a fan that I'm saving all my 6-star shards for his featured so that I can get him as a 6-star featured. Because it's like Warlock. Who's Warlock? I don't know. Is there a champion in this game by the name of Warlock? I don't think there is. So we're gonna go for Guardian. So this is special 3, number 3. Also, his special 3 is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Not bad. Hits them against the back of their wall. There's a big Canadian leaf at the start, which is always cool. And yeah, right there I accidentally power drained him. That is something that can happen, is if you accidentally finish a combo with a light, you can accidentally power drain them. Which I know some people do struggle to finish combos with the medium. I remember when I first started playing the game, I did that. I finished my combos with lights. But yeah, right here we're gonna go for that special 2 and just absolutely nuked. Again, I lost count. I think that was what, 3 special 3s? Like, that's not even that much ramp up. And that special 3 just nuked him. He had like 300,000 or 400,000 health, something like that. No problem. Like I said, that you can do 10 L3s. Like, his damage potential is amazing. I think he's just a really great all-around champion. So many great abilities. The coolest looking champion. I'm in love with him, man. He is awesome. If there's a Comic-Con or something, I'm gonna cosplay as him, because like, look at my logo and then look at Guardian. I mean, like, they look very similar. He's so great, man. So great, such a fan. But that's gonna do it for this content creator program video. Let me know what you guys thought. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think of Guardian. Do you think he's the coolest looking character in the game? I know he is, but I already know he is. But let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Peace out.